Ladies and gentlemen, imagine walking into a room and without saying a single word, every eye turns toward you. Not because of your clothes, not because of your beauty, but because of the energy you radiate. People can't explain it, but they feel it, something magnetic, something rare, something unforgettable. The truth is, becoming the woman everyone wants isn't about chasing approval. It's about unlocking a presence so powerful that attention naturally finds you. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to create that kind of presence. Imagine walking into a room and without saying a word, you command attention. Not because of the clothes you wear, not because of the makeup on your face, but because of the energy you carry. There is something magnetic about a woman who knows her value, who doesn't need validation, and who shows up fully present in her own skin. That energy is rare, and rare is always irresistible. And the truth is, becoming the woman everyone wants isn't about trying to please everyone. It's not about being the loudest, the funniest, or the most glamorous. It's about embodying qualities that make people feel drawn to you, qualities that elevate you beyond the surface and create an aura people can't help but admire. And it starts with confidence. And I don't mean the kind of confidence that comes from external achievements. I'm talking about the kind that comes from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going. Confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. You can see it in the way someone walks, the way she looks you in the eye, the way she holds herself even when things around her are chaotic. Confidence is calm because it isn't trying to prove anything. And when you're around someone like that, you feel safer, more at ease, more inspired. That's the first quality that makes people want to be near you. But confidence alone isn't enough. The woman everyone wants is approachable. She's not so wrapped up in her own world that she forgets to connect with others. She makes people feel seen, heard, and valued. There's power in being able to look at someone even for just a moment and make them feel like they matter. People don't remember what you wore, but they remember how you made them feel. And a woman who knows how to listen, to laugh, to give someone her presence instead of just her attention becomes unforgettable. And there's also a subtle grace in how she balances strength with softness. Too often, we're told we have to be one or the other, either strong and independent or soft and nurturing. But the truth is, the combination of the two is what creates real magnetism. Strength means you have boundaries, standards, and a vision for your life. Softness means you can show vulnerability, kindness, and compassion. Together, they create a harmony that makes people feel both challenged and comforted when they're with you. And another piece of this puzzle is passion. People are drawn to energy, and nothing radiates more energy than a woman who is passionate about her life. Whether it's her career, her hobbies, her dreams, or her personal growth, she is always moving towards something that lights her up. That glow is contagious. When you're around someone who's excited about life, you can't help but feel a spark yourself. Passion makes you magnetic because it proves you don't need someone else to complete your happiness. You've already built a life that excites you. But here's something people often forget: mystery. The woman everyone wants doesn't put her entire life on display. She doesn't give everything away too soon. She allows people to discover her layer by layer. That mystery isn't about playing games. It's about understanding that your depth is valuable, and not everyone deserves instant access to all of it. When you reveal yourself gradually, people stay curious, engaged, and invested in learning more about you. And at the same time, she embodies authenticity. Mystery doesn't mean pretending to be something you're not. It means being selective about what you share and with whom. Authenticity is being real. No masks, no pretense. It's the courage to show your quirks, your flaws, your real laughter, your genuine interests. People crave authenticity in a world where so much is fake. That's what makes you refreshing, what makes you stand out. And there's also the matter of independence. A woman who can stand on her own, who doesn't need someone else to rescue her, is powerful. Independence doesn't mean rejecting love, help, or partnership. It means you're whole on your own, and anyone who comes into your life is an addition, not a necessity. That energy changes how people see you. They know they can't take you for granted because your worth isn't tied to them. That's incredibly attractive. And then perhaps one of the most overlooked traits is joy. The woman everyone wants knows how to enjoy life. She smiles, she laughs, she finds beauty in simple things. People want to be around someone who lifts their energy, not drains it. Joy isn't about being happy all the time. It's about finding light even in difficult moments, about having the resilience to bounce back. and the ability to bring warmth into a room. And so when you combine all of this, confidence, approachability, strength, softness, passion, mystery, authenticity, independence, and joy, you create a presence that people crave. You become the kind of woman who doesn't chase approval because approval naturally finds its way to you. You become the kind of woman who doesn't need to demand attention because attention flows to you effortlessly. And you become the kind of woman who inspires others to rise simply by being in her presence. And that's how you become the woman everyone wants, not by molding yourself into who you think others desire, but by unlocking the qualities that make you radiant, magnetic, and unforgettable. And what makes this transformation even more powerful is that it doesn't depend on perfection. In fact, perfection is the enemy of connection. People don't fall in love with someone because they're flawless. They fall in love because they're human. It's in the small imperfections, the way you trip over your words when you're excited, the way you get lost in thought when something touches your soul, the way you laugh too loudly at something silly that people find themselves drawn in. These are the moments that remind others you're real, and real is what captivates. And part of becoming that magnetic presence is cultivating standards that honor your value. When you raise the bar for how you allow others to treat you, you immediately separate yourself from the crowd. You don't beg for attention. You don't cling to crumbs of affection. You don't tolerate disrespect. You carry yourself like someone who knows she deserves the best. And because of that, people naturally rise to meet you at that level. Standards aren't about arrogance, they're about self-respect. And when people sense that in you, it commands admiration without you saying a word. But it's not just about how you carry yourself with others, it's about how you carry yourself when you're alone. The woman who becomes unforgettable is the one who knows how to enjoy her own company. She doesn't fear silence. She doesn't need constant distraction. She can sit in a cafe with a book, go for a walk with her thoughts, or spend an evening pursuing something she loves. That kind of self-sufficiency creates an aura of peace and strength that others crave. People sense when you don't need them, and paradoxically, that's what makes them want you more. And then there's the energy of curiosity. The woman everyone wants is not only interesting, she's interested. She doesn't just wait to be entertained, she engages. She asks questions, she listens deeply. She shows genuine wonder about the world and the people in it. That curiosity makes every interaction feel meaningful. It turns small talk into connection, and it leaves people walking away thinking, I want to see her again, because curiosity makes others feel important, and importance is one of the deepest human needs. And let's not underestimate the power of presence. In today's world, most people are half distracted, glued to their phones, barely listening. But when you give someone your full presence, when you look them in the eye and immerse yourself in the moment, you stand out instantly. Presence communicates value. You're saying, right now, you matter. And people don't forget how it feels to matter. That presence combined with your energy becomes magnetic beyond words. And there is also a quiet discipline that makes you irresistible. The discipline to take care of your body, not to impress others, but to feel strong and alive in your own skin. The discipline to keep promises to yourself, to build consistency in your life, to pursue growth even when it's uncomfortable. Discipline creates inner strength, and that strength radiates in ways people can't always explain but always feel. They sense reliability, stability, and focus in you, and that's rare, which makes it attractive. And another element that draws people in is playfulness. Life is serious enough, and when someone has the ability to bring lightness, humor, and fun into moments, it feels like oxygen. Playfulness isn't about being childish. It's about carrying an energy that reminds people to let go, to laugh, to not take everything so seriously. That spark of play makes you unforgettable because while beauty may fade and trends change, the way you made someone feel alive will never be forgotten. And let's talk about vision. People are pulled toward those who know where they're going. When you have goals, dreams, and a vision for your life, you stand out. You're not waiting to be rescued. You're not drifting aimlessly. You're moving forward with intention. That sense of direction is magnetic because people crave being around energy that moves. It inspires them, it excites them, and it makes them want to be part of the journey. And gratitude also plays a profound role. When you carry gratitude, you radiate abundance instead of lack. You're not walking around desperate for more. You're grounded in appreciation for what you already have. That energy is intoxicating because most people are stuck in cycles of wanting, comparing, and resenting. Gratitude shifts your frequency. It makes you radiant. It makes others feel lighter when they're with you because you remind them of what's good in life. And there's also something powerful about resilience. Everyone goes through challenges, heartbreaks, and failures. But the way you handle those moments determines how people see you. If you crumble and stay down, you communicate fragility. But if you rise, learn, and grow from your pain, you communicate strength. Resilience makes you captivating because it shows you can weather storms and still stand tall. It tells people that you're not fragile glass, but unshakable steel with a heart that still loves, despite the battles. And boundaries, too, are magnetic. They show that you value yourself enough not to overextend, not to tolerate toxicity, and not to sacrifice your peace for approval. Boundaries protect your energy. And when people see that you honor your own limits, they respect you more. They may test those boundaries, but when they see you hold firm, they know you're someone of depth and substance. And then there is generosity, the kind that comes not from needing to be liked, but from a genuine overflow of love. Whether it's a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or simply giving your time, generosity makes you unforgettable. People feel safe with someone who isn't calculating every move, but instead gives freely because she is full within herself. That kind of abundance is rare and it makes you magnetic. And when you weave all of these qualities together, your confidence, your presence, your curiosity, your discipline, your playfulness, your resilience, your gratitude, you don't just become someone people want to know, you become someone they feel better for knowing. You light up their world, not by trying to be everything to everyone, but by being deeply, unapologetically yourself. And that authenticity, that wholeness, that rare combination of strength and warmth is what makes you unforgettable to everyone who crosses your path. And when you live from that place, you stop chasing attention and start creating impact. You realize that the goal isn't to be liked by everyone. It's to live so authentically that the right people are naturally drawn to you. Because the truth is, not everyone will understand you, not everyone will appreciate you, and not everyone will want you. But the ones who do will feel something deeper than attraction. They'll feel inspired, elevated, and connected in a way they can't quite explain. That's when you know you've stepped into your true power. And one of the most magnetic traits you can embody is emotional intelligence. It's the ability to understand your own emotions and navigate the emotions of others. People are starving for connection, for someone who gets them, for someone who can listen without judgment and respond with empathy. When you can read the room, when you can sense someone's mood, when you can hold space for someone's feelings without trying to fix or control them, you become the person others want to open up to. And when people feel safe enough to be vulnerable around you, they bond with you on a level that surface charm could never create. And emotional intelligence also means mastering your reactions. Instead of snapping when frustrated, you pause. Instead of gossiping, you rise above it. Instead of getting lost in drama, you choose peace. That ability to regulate yourself is incredibly attractive because it signals maturity, stability, and strength. People crave being around someone who doesn't add to the chaos of life, but instead brings clarity and calm. And another layer of magnetism comes from your ability to inspire, not by preaching, but by living in a way that sets an example. When you take care of your body, when you work on your goals, when you show discipline in your habits, when you keep learning and growing, you silently challenge others to rise as well. Inspiration is contagious, and people are drawn to those who elevate them just by being in their presence. And there is also a subtle power in restraint. Not every thought needs to be spoken. Not every emotion needs to be acted on. Not every opportunity needs to be taken. Restraint shows discernment. It tells people you're intentional, selective, and thoughtful. It makes your words carry more weight because you don't waste them. It makes your attention feel more valuable because you don't give it away to everyone. It makes your presence feel more special because it's not easily available. People value what feels rare, and restraint creates rarity. And charm is another quality that deepens your magnetism. Charm isn't about being perfect or rehearsed. It's about having the ability to make people feel good in your company. It could be through humor, through wit, through warmth, or even through the way you tell a story. Charm makes interactions light, enjoyable, and memorable. And when people associate you with positive emotions, they naturally want more of you. And what also sets you apart is your ability to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and so are people. when you can shift gracefully, when you can stay flexible in the face of change, when you can find opportunity in uncertainty, you radiate resilience and strength. That adaptability makes people feel secure around you because they know you won't collapse at the first sign of difficulty. You become someone they can count on, someone who brings stability in an unstable world. And there's something magnetic about ambition, not in a cold or ruthless way, but in the sense that you're always striving to be better than you were yesterday. Ambition gives you a spark, a fire that makes others feel energized in your presence. It proves that you're not stagnant, that you're constantly evolving, and that anyone around you will be inspired to grow as well. People are drawn to movement, to growth, to energy, and ambition radiates all three. And let's not forget kindness, genuine kindness, not the performative kind that expects something in return. Kindness in the way you treat strangers, in the way you speak to people who can't do anything for you, in the way you extend grace even when no one is watching. That kind of kindness lingers in people's minds. It makes them remember you, even if they only met you once. It makes them want to be around you because kindness is rare. And rare is always valuable. And a deep part of magnetism also comes from authenticity in expression. It's the courage to say how you feel, to express what you believe, to be real even when it's risky. Most people hide behind masks, afraid to stand out, afraid to speak their truth. But when you choose authenticity, you liberate others to do the same. You become a mirror that reflects permission, permission to be themselves, permission to own their story, permission to step into their own power. And people don't forget the person who gave them that gift. And there is also undeniable magnetism in the way you handle rejection and failure. Instead of letting it define you, you let it refine you. Instead of letting it shrink you, you let it strengthen you. That ability to rise from setbacks with grace shows others that you're unbreakable. It tells them that your worth isn't tied to outcomes, but to who you are inside. And that resilience is more attractive than perfection could ever be. And pay a little closer attention, and you'll notice something else. Your energy is shaped by the people you surround yourself with. When you choose wisely, when you elevate your circle, when you spend time with people who inspire instead of drain, that energy rubs off on you, and others will sense it. They'll feel the difference between someone weighed down by toxic influences and someone lifted up by empowering ones. You become magnetic by association, because you're constantly elevating your own standards through the company you keep. And another part of what makes you unforgettable is your ability to bring meaning into interactions. You don't settle for surface level connections. You go deeper. You ask questions that matter. You share stories that inspire. You create moments that people remember long after the conversation ends. Meaning is rare, and when people experience it with you, they'll always want more. And above all, there's an energy that comes from living in alignment with your values. When your actions match your words, when your choices reflect what you believe, when you live with integrity, you shine differently. People trust you even if they don't fully understand why. They sense consistency, they sense strength, they sense truth. And in a world full of contradictions, that kind of alignment is magnetic beyond measure. And the journey to becoming the person everyone wants isn't about adding layers of performance. It's about peeling back what doesn't serve you and leaning into the qualities that already live inside you. The more you embody those qualities, the more you radiate naturally. You don't have to chase, you don't have to force, you don't have to pretend. You simply become. And in becoming, you create a presence that lights up the spaces you enter and leaves people forever changed when they leave. And when you create that kind of presence, you begin to realize that your power doesn't lie in being louder, prettier, or more impressive than anyone else. It lies in the way you affect people on a deeper level. It lies in the imprint you leave after you're gone. People may not always remember the details of what you said, but they will always remember how they felt when they were around you. That is the ultimate measure of attraction, not surface attention, but emotional impact. And part of this comes from the way you handle moments of silence. Most people rush to fill every gap, every pause, every quiet space with noise. But when you are comfortable in silence, you radiate confidence and calm. It tells others you don't need to perform. You don't need to entertain. You are enough just by being. That kind of quiet strength is captivating because it makes people lean in. They want to know more. They want to stay longer. They want to understand what it is about you that feels so rare. And there is also something magnetic in the way you celebrate others. In a world where jealousy and comparison are rampant, being genuinely happy for someone else's success is a rare quality. When you can lift others up instead of competing with them, you show a kind of security that is irresistible. You're not threatened by someone else shining because you know their light doesn't dim yours. That mindset makes you unforgettable because people feel safe being their best selves around you. But what amplifies all of this is the courage to set boundaries without guilt. It's easy to fall into the trap of over-giving, of saying yes to everyone, of trying to be everything to everyone. But when you protect your energy, when you say no without apology, when you prioritize what truly matters to you, you communicate strength and self-respect. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They keep out what doesn't serve you and make space for what truly does. And when people see you honoring your own boundaries, they admire you even more. And another dimension of this magnetism is your ability to express gratitude, not just for big milestones, but for small, everyday moments. Gratitude shifts your energy. It makes you radiant because it keeps you focused on abundance rather than lack. When you can appreciate the little things, the warmth of sunlight, the sound of laughter, the taste of your morning coffee, you show people a way of living that feels rich and fulfilling. They want to be around that energy because it reminds them of what's good in their own lives. Gratitude is magnetic because it radiates joy, and joy is something everyone craves. And let's not overlook the power of discipline either. It's easy to dream, to want, to imagine, but it's discipline that turns visions into reality. When you show up consistently for yourself, when you follow through on your promises, when you build habits that elevate your life, you become someone others look up to. Discipline is rare because it's hard, and that rarity makes it attractive. People sense when you're reliable, when you're focused, when you're intentional. It makes them trust you, respect you, and admire you. And then there's the undeniable magnetism of resilience. Life will test you. You will face heartbreak, setbacks, disappointments, and failures. But what makes you unforgettable is the way you rise from those moments. Instead of crumbling, you rebuild. Instead of giving up, you keep moving. Instead of letting pain harden you, you let it refine you. That kind of resilience inspires people because it shows them what's possible. It tells them that even when life knocks you down, you can stand tall again. And another piece of this puzzle is your ability to create experiences. People remember moments that feel alive, whether it's planning a spontaneous adventure, turning an ordinary dinner into something meaningful, or simply making someone laugh until their stomach hurts. You create memories. Experiences bond people to you in ways that words alone never could. They associate you with joy, with meaning, with connection, and that makes them crave your presence again and again. And there's also a magnetic quality in humility. True confidence doesn't need to shout or boast. It doesn't need to prove, it simply is. Humility allows you to shine without overshadowing others, to be strong without being arrogant, to be inspiring without making anyone feel small. It's the balance of knowing your worth while still being grounded. And when you embody that balance, you become approachable in a way that makes people feel both admiration and comfort around you. And your energy is also defined by your curiosity and openness. When you approach life as a student, always willing to learn, always open to new perspectives, always hungry for growth, you radiate freshness. People are drawn to that because it makes them feel alive too. They see someone who is evolving, expanding, never stagnant. And that energy inspires them to grow alongside you. And there is also a kind of magnetism in the way you carry joy through playfulness. Life can be heavy, responsibilities endless, challenges overwhelming. But when you bring humor, lightness, and fun into a room, you give people relief. You remind them not to take life too seriously, to find beauty in the simple, to laugh even in the hard times. Playfulness makes you unforgettable because people always want to return to where they felt light and free. And perhaps one of the strongest forces of attraction is integrity. When your words match your actions, when you stand by your values, even when it's inconvenient, when you live in alignment with your truth, you build trust. Trust is rare, and it's the foundation of every meaningful connection. People are drawn to those who live with integrity because it gives them something solid to hold on to in a world that often feels uncertain. And at the same time, never underestimate the impact of self-respect. The way you treat yourself teaches others how to treat you. When you honor your body, your mind, your dreams, and your boundaries, people take notice. They realize they can't come to you with half-hearted effort because you won't accept it. They know they must rise to your level because you refuse to lower yourself. That energy is magnetic. It creates a standard that makes people work harder to be in your world. And then there's the quiet but powerful force of presence. When you're fully in the moment, not distracted by your phone, not lost in worries, not thinking about what's next, you create magic. Presence makes every interaction feel meaningful. It makes people feel seen, valued, important. And that feeling is addictive. People are drawn to presence because it's so rare in a distracted world. And what ties all of this together is alignment. When you live in alignment with your values, your passions, your vision, and your truth, you shine differently. You don't have to chase attention. It comes to you. You don't have to demand respect. You earn it naturally. You don't have to force attraction. It flows to you effortlessly. And that's when you realize that becoming unforgettable isn't about becoming someone else. It's about unlocking everything you already are and allowing it to shine fully, without apology, without fear, without hesitation.